Let's go, Georgia fans. I'm going to need your help. Is Carson Beck and what he's doing this season going under the radar? I know the Heisman Trophy is not going to be in his future, nor should it be, but man, I have been absolutely amazed. I'm starting to think at least he should get the invite to New York City. So let's first break down this play. You got Georgia's two best pass catchers here to the left side of the formation, Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey. We're going to be talking about both of them today. Good jam from this corner on the left side, getting physical with Brock Bowers. It looked like he was trying to go to McConkey to the left side. Nothing opened up. Look at this protection. Now, before we get to the actual throw, let's break down this protection. I've seen this happen a lot this year in college football. Guys just running into each other, okay? So both of these players decided to run through this B gap right here. And me as a pass rusher, when I played, I didn't want anybody going through my gap, right? So I don't know if there should have been a loop going around here or whatever the case may be, but 51 gets on his rear end. He got tripped by his own guy. There is no contained defender, so if Carson Beck wanted to take off and run, he could, but he does the smart thing in this pristine pocket, work all the way back to the right side. That is a nice full field read, and as you can see, this ball was actually behind Thomas, but he's still able to cut back right here on 32 because Ole Miss doesn't really have a defense, and it's off to the freaking races here. That is absolutely amazing stuff right there from the Georgia offense. Their two best receivers get stalemated to the left side. The protection is still good enough. Carson Beck stayed patient in the pocket. You saw how quiet his feet were, and he delivered an absolute strike. You have the same thing happening here from the Ole Miss pass rush. Both guys running through the same gap. This looked like this should have been a twist stunt from this edge player. And if he actually executes this twist stunt, he is probably getting through clean. But instead, both the Ole Miss players this is honestly very basic stuff. I am shocked. LSU has done this a lot. Two guys going through the same gap. Still, this is really good offense anyway from Carson Beck. He knows he sees this A-gap pressure with these two routes occupying these two defenders. It is going to be a wide-open throw all day, every day to Kendall Milton here in the flat. And that beeping noise was Lane Kiffin saying, "Hey, Carter, why are you exposing my defense?" I'm like, Lane, come on, man. You got a big-time DC there now. You can't be having these mistakes. You missed two tackles right there. And eventually Georgia does pound this in for a tutty. Here, he gets a little lucky here. It looks like this defensive tackle was running some kind of stunt, and he goes all the way over here, which then opens up two massive gaps here. I have no idea what this Ole Miss defensive line was doing this entire game, right? That's just not what you want to do. And Zero, who is a transfer for Ole Miss, made a lot of questionable decisions here. I am guessing, rarely do you want your zero nose twisting around, right? I'm guessing he just didn't want this smoke, right? Van Pran, and I believe that's Rutledge, dominates him. And look at this gap. It's wide open to run through. And, yeah, that's just where you want your zero nose to be. Very bizarre stuff. But it goes to show you, Van Pran eventually got someone on their rear end here. That just shows you, like, this Georgia run blocking and offensive line just every year has just been dominant. All right, so we get to this touchdown right here from Georgia. One of my favorite things is seeing a team do something that the other team likes to do offensively, right? Georgia has done this as well, but Lane is in coaching circles is really known for this quick pitch to the boundary offense. And where it could get really deadly is faking this quick pitch and getting vertical here, and that's exactly what happens, okay? I want you to see the gravity that Brock Bowers, brings to this offense. So Brock is going vertical, and both of these defenders in the middle of the field are picking up Brock Bowers. So you can see the stripe of Carson Beck's helmet pretty much looking, I'm guessing, at this safety right here. Once he sees that this safety is biting towards Bowers, he knows he has Ladd McConkey with inside leverage on this outside defender, and one of the best things you can run versus a cover 3 bailing corner is a post. But like we did in our last Carson Beck film study, we showed you how McConkey never really cheats a route, okay? So you notice he holds this corner right here with the nice little juke to the right side to keep him flat-footed, to make this corner potentially think that he could be running an out here or a post or a corner here. That right there opens up this much more space for McConkey to run through. This center field safety is drawn by Brock Bowers right here over the middle, and this is the Herbie clicker holding this back here. It just shows you how well of a design this actually is and how good Mike Bobo has been this year for Georgia, okay? So look at all this space that Brock Bowers creates. Obviously, Milton helped hold all that up as well. And we saw Georgia actually hit Oscar Delp versus Florida on one of these early in the game. Now you actually get a vertical shot right here and perfect ball placement right there to McConkey, who has just been sensational this year for Georgia. All right, so this has more to do with Carson Beck's mechanics, if anything else. He just is understanding where to go with the football at all times. Once again, if your protection is great and your skill guys are some of the best in the country, life is easy, okay? But I want you just to see how quick and how subtle his movements are in the pocket, okay? Absolutely no wasted movement. He sees that this linebacker is blitzing from the second level. Then he sees that this backer is coming out here to defend this little swing route to Milton and Bowers. So the middle of the field is wide open. I want you to see just how quickly he gets this football out. Now, once again, it's an easy read, perfect footwork in the pocket, and look at that. He's already ripping this thing before McConkey is sitting right there. Once again, that is schemed open. And look, it helps. It really, really, really does help that you have these skill guys. And this is only, not that big of a game. But even the little things, even the non-explosive plays, Carson has looked really good. Boom! Looking at you. So if you want to support these film studies, please help feed my dog. Hit up the Venmo Cash App at Carter the Power, because guess what we're talking about? When healthy, the best player in the sport. That is Brock freaking Bowers. Look at this, okay? Rara Thomas can't hold his block on the split zone. So 14 has all the momentum. Bowers just got this football, and somehow, some way, he makes this guy miss. That is absolutely ridiculous. And then the power to get vertical. Rara could have blocked that guy. He couldn't. And he misses that tackle and falls forward for 7 yards. So if Bowers doesn't make this guy miss, it probably doesn't open up what's going to happen on the very next play. And now we get to the play that Carson Beck probably got criticized for more than anything else. And I'm actually going to defend him here on this play action fake, deep shot, double move to Ladd McConkey, okay? This looks like an absolute severe underthrow. And like I always say, you as a college football viewer are hurt by the camera angles that are provided to you, right? You don't have access to all 22. I don't have access to most all 22. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. And if you had the all 22, you'll see what exactly happened here. When you actually talk to quarterbacks, one thing that they will tell you is a double move is one of the hardest throws in all of college football. And the reason why it's tough to lead a receiver perfectly on a double move is you don't know how long that stop of the stop and go is going to go, okay? So Bowers is looking, Beck isn't looking at McConkey just yet, and now he eventually works all the way over here to McConkey, and you see he's got him beat, right? The issue, though, is you don't know how long he's going to hold this fake, right? So, yes, this is a severe underthrow, and you see Kirby is jumping up and down. Hey, throw this, please, please throw this. Everybody on the sideline sees it, and it's an underthrow, right? it's obviously better to underthrow a football than overthrow it because, you can get a pass interference call with someone trying to make a play. The wide receiver still has a chance to come back to the ball compared to an overthrow. So, yeah, that ball needs to be more accurately put on the money. It's just not as easy as it looks. So give Ole Miss credit for hustling back into the play. Give McConkey credit getting the maximum out of this with a very nice juke move here. I've got to see what her camera angle looked like. That is crazy. She gets this angle. And look, she's like, what the heck's going on? I need to study. If I'm not mistaken, though, Lovett ended up being their leading receiver in this game, or one of their leading receivers, okay? I think the biggest key for Carson Beck was how good this offensive line was. I mean, this is as clean of a pocket you could ask for. I don't know how many more times I'm going to keep saying this. He eventually hits Lovett in stride right here, and now you get to see what the Missouri transfer is able to do when the football hits his hands, and it's just off to the freaking races. I mean, it is just amazing how good these Georgia receivers are, and Lovett does a good job making him miss. He eventually does lose his balance, but he picks up all those extra yards. Let me know what you guys think if Carson Beck should be in New York City for the Heisman Trophy. You look at QBR, you look at passing yards, you look at all those different things. He is freaking incredible. At first I wondered, man, Brock Bowers deserves to be in New York City, but, he got injured, and that obviously hurt his chances. But we do have a little bit of a giveaway. I have a Bowman Chrome Brock Bowers refractor. If this video gets over 5,000 views, we'll give this out to any one of you Georgia fans out there, okay? So we'll give you one more angle here at the end, and you'll get to see what the tight end position is supposed to look like. I love the pre-snap motion right here from Bobo to get Bowers in the spot versus a linebacker, and it's honestly just simple stuff, but, you look at all the best offensive systems. The best systems are always the ones with the best players, right? And this is a good example of that. It is Power Hour SEC. Boom! And tonight, we are doing also tacos. Let's go.